Good morning, traders, and welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. I'll be your host. We go through all markets, whatever you request. Most people want to look at the S&P E-mini, so that's what we cover. We'll do live forward-looking analysis and look where, do current market analysis, and then look where price might be going next based off of the behavior that we see in the order flow. We do this every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. And then my bio here. So I'm the Bookmap lead educator here. I've been trading for over 15 years, the order flow specialist here at Bookmap. And we have quite a team of other traders here. I can just show you quickly over on our new learning center. Go here into Learning Center. Yeah, I can show you exactly where it is here. It is from bookmap.com. Go to the More button, go to the Learning Center here under Resources. It is here that we have a Getting Started course, Getting Connected, Market Mechanics course. Really great stuff here. Will provide an excellent foundation in your order flow education. And then our live streamers just underneath here. You can see all of them here. So we have quite a few. And then you can see our calendar below. So you can attend any of these events. They are all free, which is great. Okay. Yeah, you can reach out to me on Discord, Bruce at Bookmap. And then my Twitter is @FlowOrder. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, BBM. Yeah, so let's jump in. Let's take a look at these markets here and see what's going on. We'll start off with the S&P E-mini. Yeah, what's happening in here? Well, you can see the cash open here, 9:30. We see some volatility. This is pretty typical. But take a look at this volatility. Right? So here's 6 a.m. Over here. And you can see that basically price has dipped below it. And it kind of creeped up on this entire overnight session here up into this area here. Nice little spoof right in here, which we can cover, and looks like just trying to get price to go just a little bit higher up into this liquidity, up into these areas here. And then you can see before 9:30 the sellers started coming in and dropping this market right at the open, dropped, bounced back up, back and forth here, and now dropped again into high liquidity here. So this is something we want to really watch now to see, are we going to get continued momentum to the downside here, or are we going to get a bounce back up to, you can just say 34 for right now, maybe even higher. Okay, why? Well, because there's a lot of liquidity in here, very, very simply. And yeah, we're looking to see liquidity in. If the limit buy orders here are enough to absorb the sellers into this area here. Okay, so we might get that. I see quite a bit of selling in here, but I know it's hitting this liquidity. I see quite a bit of selling in here, but look, we already made a higher low here, and we're just kind of going back and forth in this area right in here at the moment. Okay, good morning, Philip. Good morning, Bill. All right, over in Discord, you guys can hear me loud and clear? Yeah. Hi, Stan. Slow down. Nice to see you back. Slow down. Enjoy all the coffee there. And hello, Stephen and Trader Carlson. Welcome. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's just going, back and forth. We're trying to gauge the behavior in here. Again, looking at this in here in Bookmap, there's only 3 elements on this chart. And it is the behavior of the traders that we can witness here. And it is that context of these three elements that give us that insight of their behavior. So for example, look at high liquidity coming in the order book over here, okay, on the offer, down lower from 33.5 down to 32. What's the reaction? Do we find sellers or are buyers interested in trading up there? What about this liquidity coming in and out of the market here around 29? Okay. It's kind of hard to say right now. We're right in the middle. We'll see a shift though and a change. And that's when we're going to note and look for certain scenarios to play out. So it looks like this, see how this guy pulled his liquidity here? And then buyers were kind of interested. They just started coming in here. And then this guy got out of the way. So are these players up at this 31 3/4 level? They got out of the way. They don't want to be sellers anymore. Okay, so what does price do? Well, it just kind of goes up to that area. Now we got another scenario here. Okay, more buyers, more liquidity down here underneath, supporting it in the order book. Okay, well, let's see the buyers try to reach 33.5 then. Okay, that liquidity now. That would be the scenario we're looking for. Okay, just by simply reading this behavior in here. Okay, so first we're reading the price structure. Secondly, we're reading the liquidity actually in this example, and then we're reading the aggressor's behavior toward that liquidity. Okay, to give us insight that we might go higher here. Okay, now this has kind of changed up a bit. We were looking for the move up into 33.5. High liquidity underneath here, right here at this 32.25. Well, what happened here? Well, the sellers came in and took these guys on. They traded into them and now through them. So we're back in the middle again. All right, so we were looking for this skew in the order book that we saw here starting to unfold more in the book here. Buyers coming in, pulling here. Okay, well, we would look for price to come up to here, and then the next level would be this 33.5. Okay, more in the book here, more buyers. Reaction, more buyers. Looking for 33.5. Okay, more liquidity underneath here, 32.25, and we're still finding buyers. Still looking for 33.5. Sellers come in and take these guys on. So now this has to be reevaluated at this point. Right? So now we know that there's sellers up here. They traded into and through. What does that mean here? That means that there are more sellers than there are limit buy orders here on the bid. So they're able to drop price through that area. Yeah, down here, we came right back down into the middle. And we don't know at this point what's going to happen. Are there going to be more sellers down here? Are they going to take it through this area where we saw these guys initiate this move to the upside? If we saw sellers down here, I would look for the continuation to the downside. That would be the scenario. Okay, so let me mark up that scenario here. If we traded down here and we see big red dots, another one here, another one here, trading into that high liquidity, okay, and then starts to go through it here on another big red dot in here, yes, I would look for the test lower. That would be the scenario. It would be even better if some of these guys pulled their liquidity at these price levels and they were adding more liquidity on the other side here, okay, on the offer. That would give us insight for this move lower. Okay, and we know that didn't happen, but that's the scenario that we want to outline. Okay, so, and we look for the other scenario as well. Okay, so scenario one would be this. Okay, and I like scenario one better because we're in a downtrend, right? So in fact, I'm actually looking for scenario 1 to happen again. Watch these sellers. They'll take these guys, these buyers on here at 31. Yeah, they should. I'm looking for them to take them on and then trade through here. So we're back down to where these buyers came in and moved the price higher. And they're being supported by limit buys here. I'm still looking for sellers to trade into. The scenario for me would be number 1 scenario, in fact, is what I'm looking for. It would be for these, I know this is support, but I'm looking for the sellers to trade through it here because it goes into the bigger trend. Okay, trade into this 31 and then see more sellers trade it lower. There they are at 31. Okay, great. So that has already unfolded. So now we're still looking for pulling on the order book here on the bid. So I don't want to see these guys. I want to see them get out of the way. And I want to see these guys lower their liquidity here. Okay, and are we getting that? Let's take a look. Not really. A little bit, a little bit. See, they're starting to come in. There they go. There they go. There's our scenario. Okay, so we were looking for that scenario over here. It didn't play out. And we didn't know here. We weren't really too clear. Here, we're looking for this scenario to play out, and it did. Okay, we're still looking for the drop here. Okay, 28 or 27 3/4, maybe 25, maybe 24. Okay, we're going with this move outside of this range here. Okay, and we're going with the bigger trend here. All right, is this clear? Any questions on this? Okay, outlining these scenarios and looking for that behavior is a key exercise here to do. And that's what these webinars are here for, to help you. Look how you made a better trading decision here by understanding and putting these pieces together in here. I can go over this again and again and again. You know, I would really like you guys to ask questions, hit the like button along the way, and let's nail this down here so that you can put these pieces together. It's not that difficult. And also, we can even take a bigger step back and just understand what these pieces are to begin with. Okay, so here we are down at 25 and starting to find some buying now coming in. Okay, great. So I would have taken some partial profit down here. Okay, and then if I saw more buyers really starting to come in hand over fist up here at 27, I would exit the position probably totally. And I just look for the next scenario in the next setup. Okay, I'd still be in this, I think, right now. I know I'd be out at least half. Okay, and it's making me a little nervous right now because I do see the buyers and I do see more liquidity coming in on the bid down here. Okay, but I'm going with this kind of outside move and looking for continuation. Now there's something else in here. I'm looking for the move into 24 because it's a gap fill from you know, some days ago. All right, so and I'm looking for that to fill. All right, now that's a bigger picture. We'll revisit the bigger picture in just a minute. But see how we're getting our same, we're going through that same exercise in here, same scenarios. What's the reaction to this liquidity? What about what's the bid doing? What's the offer doing up here? Okay, the bid, they're adding in here. They want to be buyers down here. What do the aggressors say? Well, the aggressors seem to be taking them on. We're still going lower here. All right, so there's my 24. I'd like to say, yes, I would be out of this position at this time. Now, why am I going through? It really doesn't matter what I think. This would be the way that I would look at trading it. My point is, who cares? What matters is I have a plan and I back it up. That's what I want to go over. And here's my idea. Okay, we have the daily over here on the right, the hourly in the center, and the 15-minute on the left. I'm sorry, The daily on the left, in the center is the hourly, and then on the right we have the 15-minute. And this is the gap I'm talking about right here. Okay, it's just filling right now. Okay, so for me, I would exit the position. It did what I was looking for. It was higher probability, and it hit the level that I'm looking for. Okay, I'm out. Look for the next one. Now, that's this time frame that I'm looking at here. You may be looking at a bigger time frame or a smaller time frame. You can go through the same process in here, but maybe on your higher time frame, maybe your stop's way up here and you're looking for this to continue on down lower to 44.20, maybe even 4400, the figure down here. Okay, based on your analysis or your Fibonacci levels or whatever it might be that you're looking at. I'm not a fan of fibs, as you guys know, but anyway, just whatever your projections and your levels may be. Okay, so now this is where we talked about. We've been talking a lot about kind of trader management or trade management, and that in relationship to psychology, because I'm also not a very big fan of the trader psychology stuff out there. But this is what I like to cover in terms of that. How does this make me feel? Okay, I would have gotten out here at 24. It's still going. And this is where, like, it screws with your head. Why did I get out? It's still going. There's still momentum in this. Is that a mistake? Maybe next time I'll hold it longer. These are the kinds of things of like how you want to manage your trade. You don't have to deal with like, my cat, was upset this morning and therefore I'm not going to trade. Whatever the case may be with your with the trader psychology, it doesn't matter. What matters is how are you going to manage the trade. You can be in the worst mindset, but if you are capable of managing your trade well, you're golden. It doesn't matter. Right? So, and then what really I think messes with people's heads is stuff like this. Like, okay, well, I got out, but it still went. Maybe it will go higher time frame. Good momentum here on this hourly here. Maybe it's going to come down to here. Okay, to 4400, like we were just talking about. Okay, 15-minute, great momentum here. Right, so this is what messes, I think, with people's psychology here. Right, and then how do you handle that? Okay, well, one simple way to do this is if you get out in some of these areas here, look for the next trade. And that's it. Okay. So you just look for your next setup. Now, I think there's just two components that are needed here for your trading plan. One is to know that it is high probability. This is from your either experience or back testing or both. And being able to understand that this is a higher probability move and that you're looking for it to unfold. See, look at how this just is killing me here. And this is a full 10 points lower now. Okay, and I saw it. I knew it. I saw this momentum on the hourly, but I had my reasons. Okay, and I'm out. Okay, and just move on. JTrader is someone that does a really great job with this. He just cuts the trade if it's going against him. He cuts it, and that's it. Looks for the next one. If it's going in his favor and it's hitting his target, he's out. Looks for the next one. All right, maybe that doesn't work well with you. Maybe you're looking for something else, something more. You're looking for a higher time frame. You're looking for these bigger moves. You're splicing into it, etc. Okay, so anyway, we don't know what the market's going to do, but we can look at the behavior in here and get a better idea of what the market may do by going through these scenarios. All right, so I hope that helps. And good morning, Deborah. Let's see here. Show us your next entry, please. I don't have one at the moment, Deborah. I'm looking. So yeah, I'm waiting to see, like, what the behavior is in here, and then look for something, a reaction to that. I'm your spirit animal today. Okay. Thanks, Jack. Good morning, Tom. Let's see. Here's afternoon in West Africa. Hello. All right. All right, Tom in Wisconsin. Nice. Take what the market gives you. Don't look back. There's always another trade available. If you remain patient. Yep, absolutely, Jack. Absolutely. And we just want to continue to take out what we know is higher probability, and continue to repeat it. Look for it again and again and again. This process here is no different than going to your supermarket and buying, like, pineapples because they're on sale. It's the same idea. You're looking for some sort of deal in here, and we're looking at the behavior in here to give us that insight. Yes, Jack is the fox there. Alois. All right. Well, let me, I kind of went off on a tangent right off the bat here, and let's take a look where this might be going, and yeah, I mean, I still, on the higher time frame, I like all these wicks down here, and for today, yeah, this looks like probably a pretty good area for it to go. I mean, the momentum's still strong here. 15-minute chart, maybe down into this area here. Now on the daily, let's take a look at this. Now it is an outside day from yesterday. You can see that we've broken through yesterday's activity up above here, this red candle, and yeah, just looking for maybe down into some of these wicks down here. So 4,300 is not a bad area here. We should start to see some of this momentum slow down a bit, I would imagine, and we'll look for it in the behavior. But anyway, yeah, we're still within all of this price action though from last week, and boy, what a great week, just a fantastic week, and fantastic couple of weeks here, and we were looking for this extended move the entire time. Especially, like, I think back on this day here on June 2nd, Friday, and that breakout here, and then all week long it did really nothing, back and forth, and then it broke out again here. This was on Monday here, 12th. Some really pretty moves here. So we were looking forward, I think, back in these areas in here, waiting to see if we could, close outside of this activity. We did here on one day. That was the 18th of May. Went inched a little bit higher here, and then the market slammed down and found buyers down in these wicks down here. Were previously buyers. We bounced pretty nicely. Okay. This was a funny day here. I remember this one. It opened outside of the range, and there was just no momentum. right? So we look for the gap fill, minimum of a gap fill, and then maybe it would bounce. It went further. I went another day lower, and then we see the buyers coming in. Okay, so that's that's our bigger picture read here. And we talked about this last Friday about understanding this a breakout pattern here on this time frame is no different than looking at our smaller patterns on much lower time frames. Okay. All right, so here we go. Look at this here. Beautiful liquidity getting filled right in here. Okay, really nice. Okay, now sellers continue to come in here and dropped it just down and made an equal low here. Right, so this is the behavior that we want to start watching now. Okay? Are there still more sellers in here? Well, we're certainly not finding a lot of buyers yet. Okay, we may right here, okay, at 12.5 here. Okay, we may, and if we do, then I would look for them to raise it up into 15, 16. Okay, maybe this swing here at 14.5 first. Okay, so we're off to some good insight here, understanding that a lot of buyers came in at a higher level in here, and they got filled at these levels in here. Right, so let's see if we get it right now. Let's see if we get some buyers up here at 12.5. Yeah, not bad. All right, buyers, let's see if you can lift it here to 14.5 here. See how we don't have all the pieces though in here, and we don't have the order book underneath here supporting it. So it's easier for this back and forth to unfold here, and we noted that right before. We don't have all the pieces here, but we had enough buyers in here to try to lift it up to 14.5. Okay, well, it only got to this swing here, and then sellers came in. Now let's go over this one in here, because yeah, we're looking for it, and we're just looking for maybe a move up to here due to this liquidity being filled on the bid. Okay, now how do you manage something like this? Okay, well, first off, is it higher probability? And it really isn't quite. Look at the size of the dots in here. Look at the delta bars down here. See how many sellers there are here. See how many buyers are over here. Not as many. We want to see actually all this buying here outsize this selling here. That's what we're looking for. And now look at it now here. Okay, so we have a little bit more on the coming in on the bid at a higher level. We didn't have that before, right? Are we getting buyers though? Not really, not yet. So sellers continue to chew into this liquidity here. That's what's happening. Okay, there we go. Now we got some buyers. Now that's just kind of a knee-jerk reaction in here. And again, look at the size of the buying here compared to these other areas. It's not that good. So yeah, it looks like it may come up and do this 14.5 move that we were looking for earlier now, but I'm staying away from it. This just doesn't look as high probability. I don't see buyers coming in hand over fist in here. Okay, we saw the order book, but we didn't have all the pieces quite yet, right? And now it's kind of doing what we thought it would do. Okay, we can see the buying did pick up here. It's looking better. Okay, so it's come up to that 14.5 swing, maybe a little bit higher here. Okay, there it goes. Okay, I would look for some profit taking in here. That some of these buyers may take some profits, and we may find sellers engage up here as well, and maybe try to drop it down to about here, 13.5. or 13 where they broke out from here. So anyway, again, just trying to be very objective about this and read this in here. What's going on in some of these areas? And we didn't get our pullback. I mean, it did pull back a bit, but just to 14.5. Okay. Now, see how the buying is looking much better now in this area here, and it kind of starts to equal this over here. That's a good sign. Okay, looks like we're going to get our pullback now. All right, let me see if there's any questions in here. There you go, Jack. All right, so you just exited. And this is the behavior now of what we're kind of witnessing right now. And Deborah, this is for you. Is starting to, what we're starting to see is like a potential turnaround here. And we noted it, and we started off right in here by this liquidity getting filled down here. We found buyers on the bid, and we know they transacted big red dots trading right into this high liquidity on the bid. And then in here, we found some buying interest starting to lift the market a little bit. Very short-lived. We didn't have all the pieces. Hey, we're looking for that. We're looking for this move here to play out here. It had to go back and forth a little bit more. And then in here, we saw this behavior unfold, and that was different. This was the piece that was missing over here. But we still didn't have the buyers yet. So staying away. Not until we get all the pieces in here. Okay? And then we started to get those pieces up higher here, and I'm not willing to do it. It's just right up in here. I want to see this behavior over here, and then this looks higher probability. This looks less probable. To me, lots of times I find that you buy into this here, and then you don't have support in the order book underneath at this point. Sellers can bring it right back down into this 10.5. In this case, they didn't, and it went higher here. Here's our pullback, guys. This is what we were kind of looking for on our pullback. Beautiful pullback. We were looking for 13 even here, went a little bit lower here. Okay, and it's back up now. Well, that's a good sign that it's back up. But it's back and forth in here. There's some really strong buying in here, and then some not bad selling, but again pretty good buying starting to come back in here. All right, what I'm trying to get to in the point here is that this turnaround, when we see reversals, it takes a while. You go from a trending environment to a back and forth environment. And then if we do get a reversal out of here, we're going to see the flows change. Okay, you're going to see more buyers up at these higher levels in here. We're going to have these guys starting to pull in here, or they transact and there's just big green dots that will trade through it, okay, up into here. And if that is the case, then they should be able to take it higher up into 20. But anyway, we shift from a market that goes like this, goes down, and then it goes back and forth, and then we see a shift in a change here. For example, a higher high, maybe a higher low. Okay, and then you can get your shift and change again here, and this would be the pullback, and this would be the continuation. All right, so it takes a while, and it goes from let's talk about in terms of Wyckoff, from mark down to accumulation to mark up. Okay, so anyway, that's understanding the change here in the order flow. So this is something that I think Bookmap, no matter what it is you're talking about, if it's Wyckoff, if it's Stadelmeyer, if it's Dalton, it doesn't matter. It's all present here in this price action, transaction, and order flow. It's all in here, and you can visualize any of these traders and educators, some of their theories. It's all in here. Okay, so now here we go. We got maybe some buyers coming back in up here. Okay, now again, do we have all the pieces here? No, not really. No, the book is looking kind of blank here. Okay, so I'm staying away. I'm looking for buyers at the top here, and then maybe we can get this kind of reversal pattern to unfold. Okay, here we go. We're looking for buyers up here, right? Did we get them? No. So nothing. In fact, these can turn into, Deborah, these can be your range bound trades in this area when you don't see an edge. Okay, then you're looking for back and forth. And that's where, a lot of times it's just uncanny, like support and resistance in here. Now we're getting our buyers, and this is why I don't like the support and resistance range bound trades, as this happens all the time. And I'm looking for these buyers to take it higher here, and then I'm looking for a range bound trade in here, and now I'm caught. Right, so and then I may miss it as well. So I just wait for the bigger kind of trending move. Okay, and this looks good, or it's looking better. Okay, with the order book starting to support it here. Okay, these guys starting to get out of the way, getting our buyers here. Okay, buyers, you should be able to take it up into 18 or 19 now. Now let's look at this. Let's look at a measured move in here. It's starting to work out. Okay, and let's get our line tool in here. Yeah, measured move, like, this looks like an ATR, something like this here. Okay, so let's take that and project it over here. Yeah, up to about 20 looks pretty good. We do have a swing here. Needs to get above 19. Okay, so this pattern in here is what we covered on Friday. So if you guys want to revisit that webinar, let me show you where it is. If you go to our YouTube channel, and I would recommend it so that we don't have to, we'll go over it a bit again here, but you'll just see it in here. Yeah, trading and managing order flow breakout setups right here. Okay, so I'll put this into the chat for you guys, and revisit this the same pattern as this right here. Okay, so that's why we're looking for this move to unfold here. Right, so let me put that into the chat, guys. All right. All right, over in Discord as well. Morning, Hector. Let's see. If you're entering a trade in accordance to a higher time frame, do you leave the position open? I use basically the same type of analysis here. Very much so, Hector. In fact, it's in that video that I just posted, okay, on the daily chart. Yeah, and just look for those swings to really, it's very much the same way. Cruz, you want me to focus more on entries and stuff? Well, entry would have been here, right here. Okay, and we did cover this in that video I just posted. All right. Now it looks, and what's funny about it is it looks horrible, right? But we have all these things kind of going in our favor. And did you have any drawdown in here? Not really. That's the amazing thing, right? And that's what we're looking for again. It may look horrible as an entry, okay, but it's about the drawdown here. Okay, now, would you've gotten in down here? Well, yeah, that would be great, right? But we don't know what it's going to do. We don't know if here's exhaustion here. We could have had more sellers here, and the order book flip. If we did, I'd be looking forward to trade down into 10. Okay. Instead, buyers shifted away up into here, bought more. Our order book shifted in here. This is looking like a better opportunity. And then we projected a measured move in here, and it's still playing out. Okay. I don't have a problem with going through the a cruise of going through entries and exits. However, it just is more important to understand like the concepts we're going over and how to build out your scenarios. That's going to help you a lot more than understanding an entry or an exit. Okay, being able to go through these scenarios, if you can learn this, you'll be golden. Okay, here's our projected move up into here at 20, and I would be out. All right, it did what I wanted. All right, so we covered how this might unfold as well as a reversal. Okay, and it started right here. Okay, we can go over that again. It started right here. Okay, now the funny thing is like if we look at all of this in here, you'll note that where do we see that in the higher time frame? We don't. I don't see really anything in here. Even on the 15-minute chart here. I mean, maybe some of the buying down here, but like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? So this is where Bookmap can help you with the liquidity and understanding this relationship here. And we're still looking like okay, great, they got filled, but we need buyers to come in on the other side. And then we're looking for it and putting the pieces together for something that looked better. And then missed this one here. Okay, but then saw this one here. Okay. And so I covered entry in here, exit in here. Now that's not a trade recommendation. And Cruz, you shouldn't The way I would like to cover it is, yeah, I'll point to it. We talked about an entry and exit in here as well, okay, especially the exit. But the way to cover it in here is like, this is what I'm looking at. It may not work for you. You need to find out what works for you and go back and study it. I can only present and project an idea in here. That's it. You'll need to go back and then study it and find out if it works or not for you. And it may work, but you need to prove it to yourself. You need to prove me wrong. That's your goal. And then prove it to yourself. Oh wow, okay, well it does work. And if it does, then am I comfortable? Is it something that you are comfortable trading? Right? So it's just an idea. And it's a starting point for you. All right. And then with that idea, now you can take it further and you can look for opportunities that fit you the way that you like to trade, that makes you feel comfortable. Yeah, I really want to underscore that it's really important. All right, let's see. Are we going to get a continuation of this move? Let's see. I don't like it. I mean, I see some buying clusters starting to unfold up here, but there's high liquidity in here. See how the order book is helping us here? Okay, now what about now? Now it's looking better. See how they kind of pulled there? So we got some insight now, but they actually pulled and put more at one tick lower here. Okay, now let's see the battle unfold here. Are the buyers going to take these guys on and trade into and through? Okay, there's the transaction. Okay, now what is the order book underneath telling us? Not much, right? I'm still kind of looking for it to come up to 22 here, but this is something that doesn't have all the pieces in this behavior in here to give us insight that will unfold at a higher probability. Okay, so you just let that one slide away. Now, it might have worked, okay, but in this case, it didn't. Okay, so that's a good decision. There you go, Rob. Yeah, getting really good at losing is, I think, such a skill. If you can get really good at your controlling your losses in here, because the winners are easy, right? It's more about like controlling the losses and controlling your mind. I will get into the psychology there, but it's about the trade management. What do I do if, all hell breaks loose? What do I do? Or it doesn't do what I thought it was going to do. Now what do I do? Patience is a part of it, Hector. I wouldn't say that it's about mastering the patience. Uh, I like to say it this way, that time is one of the elements that's needed in this recipe. And that's just how it is. It's like yeah, we want to get in at a certain area and then just boom, have it work out in our favor, and then get out and we got our money and we're all fat cats, right? But time is an element in here that's part of this process, and that's the patience, okay? Or waiting for that, that setup. Okay, it takes some time, and the market's not ready for it yet. And then once you're in your trade, you have to remember that it takes time for it to work out. Rob, about the losing part, I don't know if you guys have are familiar with that book on the turtle traders or something like that. I can't remember. It was years ago I read it, where it was kind of like a like Trading Places, the movie. There was a bet about, like, I bet you that, and I forget the name of the trader, who's a trading wizard. No, it's not trading in the zone. It's very different. Stephen, it's the turtle traders or something like this. No, not market wizards. The guy was in the market wizards book, but anyway, he made a bet with somebody saying, like, I bet you we can teach people to trade just like how they were making these like mini turtles in uh, um, I don't know, Taiwan, or I forget. Boy, I'm really hacking the story, guys. I'm sorry. Uh, these are details. What matters is that there was a very simple strategy, the Donchian strategy. It was a breakout strategy for futures markets, and it was Dennis. God, what was his name? I can't remember the name of the trader. You could look it up. Richard Dennis. That's it. And I think it's Turtle Traders, Turtle Trading. Yeah, yeah, the Turtle Traders. There's all sorts of things, and like, what is it? I'm reading it now. Michael Koval or Koval is the um, one of the guys who did really well. And what he was part of the bet. It was a bunch of different traders. Long story short, I'm trying to get to it. The point is they got really good at losing. It's a breakout strategy. Like, for example, here, let's suppose this is starting to look pretty good. I don't think it is, but let's suppose if we come back up here and we see buyers in here, then we'll probably get our break a bit higher, but I don't see it quite yet. Let's suppose we do get a breakout here, though. All right, so we get our breakout here, and what he was saying, that the strategy is very simple, really simple. It breaks out and you hold it. That's it. So, he said so many times they would get this initial pop, and it would go, these are days when you had to call in your orders. So you'd get this move up, and maybe for a couple of days it would be higher, and everyone's looking, oh, this is so great, we should take our profits, etc. And then to have it come all the way back down and knock you out for zero, or maybe even a small loss. That I can't recall if they put their stop at break even or not. But maybe someone else remembers. But the point is that they were so disciplined with it. It's like, no, it's a breakout and continuation, and we just hold it. And there would be all these profits on the table here. They would see it. Michael Koval talks about it, like how the price came back down and knocked them out all the time. More than not, it was a loser, a small loser. or break even, I guess. I'm not sure. And it rarely worked that it broke out. But when it did, they had huge winners. Right? So that's the that was the strategy. And they got really good at it. Some of them couldn't do it. This would mess with their head, that it would they'd see it come all the way back down and knock them out, and they couldn't handle it. So that strategy wouldn't be for those people. All right. So anyway, being able to control your losses is something, Rob, that I think is pretty wise. Just get really good at some of that. Yeah. Um, and there's so many different ways to play it. Like, looking for a momentum, or looking for some back and forth, looking for a certain level to trade. There's so many ways to slice and dice it. Yeah, Stephen, I would suggest you can look it up, or I'll look it up here in Amazon or something. Just turtle traders. I'm sure you can find it. Yeah, here it is. The complete turtle traders, right? 23 novice investors became millionaires overnight. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think that that's an audio book. So here's the book here. Yeah, wow, it's 51 bucks. I guess it's pretty popular. Yeah, I think I paid like something like 10 or something years ago. Um, all right. So anyway, yeah, here comes, we were looking for that potential breakout and didn't like it, and just, went through this point here. This is an interesting move in here. We're still getting buying pressure, so I'm still looking for 22 here at this point. This is a weird one. Lots of liquidity underneath, but buyers are interested. Okay, so that tells us something though here, right? So 22 should trade, or we would look for it to be more probable to trade. Okay, and it just did. And I'm thinking actually it can make it to 25 now, or maybe even higher. Why? Because this liquidity in here and buyers trading into some of it pulled. It just shows that in front of all this liquidity in here, they're still buying pressure. Okay, the book is also starting to follow up underneath a little bit here. So this is showing a lot of buying interest. Right, so I would look for this to continue. Right, now we're getting a pullback here, and again, buying interest in here. And now let's see if we can get a little bit higher here, 21, and then the push up into 23 to 24 and 25. Okay, that would be my primary scenario here. Okay, got to go through. Let's go through the other side now. What does that look like? Right, so well, it would be selling right now like this, and maybe a bit more here. I'm looking for more sellers than this, though. That's just not quite enough. In fact, I would actually look for one of the scenarios to trap these sellers and have buyers back up here at 20 3/4. Okay, if we can get our green dots back up here, now we've got these guys upside down, right, at this 20 level, and we can get the move higher. So let's see here. The book's not really helping us right now. In fact, there's this guy who's at 22. but buyers want it, right? So we know that there's buying interest in here. Okay, and that's what the behavior was over here. Okay, so and this was a little bit different, right, than what we kind of are accustomed to seeing. And but when we do see that, we know that, wow, okay, I mean, even in, with all the selling in here and the liquidity in here, there's still more buyers. There's more buyers than sellers. So what if we get a scenario where these guys pull and they add more on the bid here? Well, we should get a nice move up into like 25. Okay, does that make sense? Understanding again the behavior, going through these scenarios and understanding the behavior. And we're not looking at this in here in terms of a pattern or some sort of mathematical structure. We're looking at it in terms of an auction and players within the auction, the participants in the auction. So we know that there was sellers in here. We know that there were more buyers than sellers. That's it. All right, let me check in here again. Yeah, I totally agree, Trader, with that. As soon as you're a buyer, like, what is your position? No, you're a seller now. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why we look for the trap volume in these areas. These guys are selling in here. Well, what is their position? They're going to be buying up here, and we look for a stop run up into those areas. All right, let's see if we get our buying pressure yet again right here, and then 24. We don't have all the pieces in here, like I said before. In other examples, the order book is not really supporting it. We're not really seeing significant buying up here, but we're starting to see some buyers. Nice slowdown. Yep. You do some really nice work, slowdown, with your documentation. Let me show here to people, if you don't mind. Okay, Jack, you're right there as well. Yep. Yeah, excellent. It's great. It's great, guys. Great stuff. Nice community, guys. If you like, come over to the Discord channel. Uh, let me show you, for example, what we're going through here in the Discord. So there's a little discussion going on here with a few different images here. So Slowdown really does a nice job documenting this stuff here. And looking at this liquidity in here, he's got his stops, higher time frame stops, and he's got his icebergs on here as well. Yeah, here's the buying ice, stepping in, etc. So this is much better than what I went through, because he's got his icebergs in here, he's got his stops here, and stops and icebergs. It's a really great add-on within Bookmap. However, it is a confluence. It is not a signal service. Okay, it is understanding the behavior of specific traders within the order flow. The order types transacting give us that insight. Okay, so and then yeah, more liquidity being added here, buyers stepping in. This is perfect. This is just great. And then yeah, potential reversal. Yeah, possible reversal pending. And then in here we're looking for our trying to get our insight in here. Okay, and then let's see what do you got here. Okay, and then in here, and here it is. Here's our insight right in here, guys, and we covered that in real time. Okay, so we saw it, right? We went through this whole process in here, and then now we have the added benefit from slowdown, showing us the stops and icebergs as well. You can't ask for much more in terms of documentation here. Great stuff. And boom, right? There's our move. Okay, and then now you can start to target your areas here. Why? You know, some of the swings, some of the previous transactions into liquidity, like up here. Let's take a look at that. Like here, not a bad area. Here it already traded. I kind of like this one here, and that does match with our 25 level. And we're almost there. Came up to 24. Yeah, 24 so far. That's it. Okay, Steven, so you're looking at your initial balances, etc. Yeah. I would just like to, I've done this in the past many times. Initial balance is a really great concept, and it works in trading for day trading, especially because it's within let's just back up and define and break down what it is to better understand how to use it. And then once we understand the concepts of it, we can apply it to many different things in here. We can say this is an initial balance here, or a big move here, right here. The sellers just came in. Okay, so on a very low time frame, this is no different. This concept here is the same. Okay, that we're looking for volume to trade within this area, and this would be your balance area. And what we're looking for is on the edges here, are they going to break it and continue out of it, or is it going to break out and come back in and maybe to the other side and just bounce around in here? Okay, and that's what we're going to read in here in the order flow to give us some insight. So it's breaking outside, and here they are on the bid, or I'm sorry, on the offer, but buyers took them on. Okay, but what the balance is a volume event, and it's this volume here that we want to understand. Now, the initial balance is just the first hour of trading. So it's the volume for newer traders entering into the market for the day, and then where they positioned. All right, so you can break that concept down into many time frames. Okay, so for example, now looks like we coming back up to the edge of this this little balance area in here. Okay, what's happening? Well, look at this. Sellers coming in on the offer here, pretty high liquidity there. Now we get aggressive sellers. Okay, so let's see them hit 18, and let's look for areas where they might go. 18 looks pretty good, maybe down to 16. Okay, so our reversal is maybe coming to an end here. All right, so here's our reversal pattern. Here's leg 1, pull back, leg 2, and now we even can say this is a reversal pattern up here. All right, so anyway, I just think it's important to understand, very important to understand what some of these trading strategies and concepts are all about. Okay, what's behind them? You can also say, what about the close? Right. So a lot you always hear about a lot of the larger players. They don't care about the open. They don't care about the rest of the day. They care about the close. Okay. Why? Right. So let's go back to this chart here on the daily, and let's understand that. A strong close above an area here, okay, is significant. You look for that continuation, okay, in the bigger time frame. And if you understand that concept and you can manage your risk, you can gain all of this. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, so, and we can also look at this as a potential trending after this big volume event here. Right? Is it trending to the downside here? Yeah, so far so good. So this is where, and we talk about this as where sellers came in and took control at this time frame. In this time frame only, though. Right, so we'd mark it up as an area here. Okay, really not seeing much, guys. Order book looks pretty interesting in here. I just don't know if this is going to be a spoof or not. Kind of looks like a spoof. Very high liquidity that then pulled here and here, 2 clusters, layering 3 levels. Now higher liquidity again at 20 here, coming into the order book now. And get back to some of these questions in here. Yeah, guys, hit the like button, please. And we'll do more education on things you guys like. Ashish, welcome. No, the heat map is always the same. Uses the same spectrum of colors here, from red and orange being very high liquidity, then yellow, white, blue, and then black is the least. Doesn't matter if it's on the bid or the offer. Just very simple, and that's helpful that way. The reason being is now we know that this liquidity over here, we know if it's above price, historical or current, doesn't matter. These are sellers. If it's below price, then we know that these are buyers here. That's all. Wow, they're really gaming this area here. You know, we see the buyers took these guys on at 20, but then more liquidity coming in at a lower level in here. Okay, but look at again, you know, at it here, the buyers coming in once more, trading into this liquidity. So they traded in here and here, but have not been able to get back up above yet. And then there's even more liquidity up above here. So yeah, again, this is not what we're looking for in terms of like we want to see the buyers come up around this 20 and a half. these sellers on the offer to get out of the way, and then the bid to light up here on with liquidity at a higher level. Okay, instead we see a lot of other complex stuff going on here. Yes, this is recorded, and it will be on our YouTube channel. Trader Rana, yes, there's all sorts of well, add-ons that come with the like the absorption and sweeps footprint, and what else? There's a bunch that come with the package for India. However, it's not so much Bookmap; it's the data doesn't have full depth. Guys, see how our now see the difference here? See how we're getting reaction here? Okay, so this is higher probability that likely will come up to 22 or 23.5, because we have the book supporting it. We're finding buyers up here and they're pulling on the offer. And now we need to see these buyers come up here and lift it now. Okay, they pulled from the book here, so like we don't, it's looking much better, but they pulled though. Okay, so we're trying to find something that gives us that edge in here, and it's starting to get interesting in here. Okay, now note that they came in on the offer now here. Okay, all right, we got more buyers and they took that liquidity on yet again. This is good. Now, do we get more buyers back up above it though? Okay, the transaction took place here. Okay, we want to gauge and see if there's still more buying pressure above. And they're not taking it on. These players they're really pretty this was looking pretty good here at this point right here. Okay, pulled buyers on the bid, looking for higher. Come back up here. Where are our buyers? They're not here. Okay, so this would be a small loss for me. All right, I'm looking for it to work right now. Okay, because of this setup in here, and what's happening in the order flow. Right, doesn't work out. Look for the next one. Okay, and what ended up happening? Well, they started to pull that liquidity. They added more on the offer, and we're not finding our buyers. Okay, I'm out. No, you can add Bookmap to NinjaTrader. Yep, not TradingView though. It's not recommended. Okay, because then you're basically, if there's something that happens in Ninja, it will of course crash all of your different platforms and indicators that are attached to the API, running through the API of Ninja. Okay, so it's better just to and the data that comes in is going to come into Ninja first, and then it, for example, it'll strip out the MBO data, stops and icebergs. Oh, excellent. Basel. Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, see how this like and see how like we're looking for something to unfold and it didn't. But we're out. Now we don't have to worry. What if you're still in this holding and praying here? Oh God. No. It looks horrible. It makes you feel horrible. We can also relate this to time of day here. this kind of activity is, we're at our European close here, and you'll see a lot of this kind of behavior at the European close. And we talked about gaming these levels. I think, I forget where it was, what point. I think maybe in here. Yeah, we're talking about, you know, a lot of things going on in here at that point. We come back up here, and it looks like the game is over here for me, but it wasn't. And they're still in here. Okay, so here comes our European close, guys. You can see the behavior starting to change a bit here. And it's up to you. You know, we just don't know what other participants doing different things at the close of their markets are going to be doing in here. So it makes it more risky. Yeah, it still looks good though. I mean, look at the on the offer, on the bid. We're finding some buyers. Let's relate this now. Relative volume in here. Do we see a lot of buyers up here? It's okay. It's not great though, and they are pulling on the offer, and they are on the bid at a higher level here. So it's looking good. It's starting to set up here. Okay, but we have a few things going against us. One is the European close, and then two, the relative volume here on the buy side is, we want to see much more like this in here, up here. Okay, these green dots up here, not quite getting them, right? Whereas those other areas, it was much easier to see, right? When that was unfolding on some of these areas here. This one, but it was this one in that we saw, and it looked good. Okay. All right, guys. So let's how would I use icebergs right now? Unfortunately, Alejandro, I don't have my icebergs up right now. If I was getting icebergs in here, now the reason I don't have it up is because we're also offering, you can get icebergs for the Brazilian markets, and I've been testing this indicator. Okay, and it will not work with the stops and icebergs for the CME at the same time. It will in the future, but not right now. So I don't have it up, unfortunately. Right, so sorry about that. Slow down though. You might want to jump over into Discord and look at some of the images over there. I think Jack is also putting up a few. No, yeah, but Jack is posting all the time though. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. Let's wrap it up, guys. I gotta go, and we'll look for our. You know, continue to just hunt for the setup that you're looking for in here, and through the behavior of the order flow, and go through your different scenarios in here and what exactly you're looking for, and then manage your risk. Okay, so number one is you got to prove to yourself you have a high probability setup. You have to. And it might be 51% of an advantage compared to 49. It doesn't matter. At least you have something. Okay. And then the second part is manage that risk. Okay. Using the behavior, understanding the behavior in here in the auction is going to help a lot. It's going to give you that deeper insight to why some of these patterns sometimes work and sometimes they don't. All right. Thank you, Slowdown. Thank you, Hector, Rob, Stan. Excellent. And great. You guys are doing great work over there. Keep it up. Yeah, I mean, they're really good examples for people. So you guys, if you want to jump over to our Discord, come check it out. There's a lot going on over there. And this should be able to continue to the discussion. We're here to present the ideas. And then you guys, the learning will really happen, actually, to be honest, over on Discord. Okay? Or when you buckle down and get into the details of this, some of these ideas in here, do they work for you? That's really where you're going to learn. Okay? Right now, this is just like a college or university. It's the lecture, and it just presents the ideas here. You need to go back home. You need to digest the lecture. You need to study it. You need to know it backwards and forwards. Understand the concepts that were presented, and then put that to work for you. All right. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. We will catch up with you on Friday. We have a whole host of other streamers up next. Tom B., Doug, Options with Doug, Cryptocurrencies today, this afternoon with John Slazas, and then the Algo Boys finish it up in the afternoon. All right. Yeah, hit the like button, guys. Thank you very much. And we will see you on, next, I'll see you guys next Friday. Okay, have a good day. Bye-bye.